Okay, perfect. So now we are going to have a look at prototyping and agile software development. I don't understand why I cannot see the slides on my side. Can you guys see them, or they are still loading?
We can see them.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. What can you see now?
The first page of the slides.
Okay, for some reason I can't see them. I think I'm going to reshare. As I reshare the slides, as a recap, guys, remember on the first lesson we spoke about digital CX. What is it that we spoke about in lesson 98? Give us a summary.
We spoke about website development, the importance of it.
Who is talking at the moment?
Obunolo is talking.
Yo, guys, your voice are identical, you know? So his mic is on mute because I could not, I felt like it's raised, but I'm like, oh, okay, that's correct, Obunolo. As a recap, we spoke about a website and an app development. Remember, guys, even social media is an application. So these things, you can also apply them to a social media or a blog. We also spoke about the summary of web process in that colorful diagram, and we discussed who should be involved when developing a website. Now we are going to talk about prototyping, and you should be able to know what prototyping is. And you should be able to understand growth hacking. I know you guys are more familiar with hacking, and at some point you have peeped in someone's phone without being given permission to do so. Have you?
Yes.
For once, I wish I was the Lord listening to people's confessions. All right. So you realize that with this lesson, hacking is actually good. So these are the concepts that you are going to discuss, that you are going to come across: software development, prototypes, wireframe, agile software development, and growth hacking. These are the terms that you guys must be familiar with, or maybe have already come across the terms in your lives. Which term do you feel like is quite strange?
Wireframe, perhaps.
Okay. Obunolo, what about you?
I think it's prototypes. I've heard it, but I've not really had like a full explanation.
Okay. Have you ever had a beta version of an app?
Yes.
Beta as in BETA.
Yes.
All right, let's discuss this, guys. In your opinion, do you think software development requires only the role of IT specialist?
No.
Why not?
Because they also need the marketers to assist in the aesthetic of the app or the website, so that it aligns with the customers, yeah.
Okay. And what is the relationship between software development and digital customer experience? So do you think there's any relationship between CX and software development?
Yes.
Okay, I feel like I explained that before, guys. So without
Yes.
customer experience, you wouldn't know how a software performs. Without software's performance, you wouldn't know how much customer experience is delivered. I don't know if you are making any sense.
Yes, you are.
I spoke about relevancy. So if a software is not delivering any relevance to you, then there's no experience. And if you are not there, there's no software. So they go hand in hand. Now we have a look at prototyping. Prototypes are trial versions of an entire website or part of the site being refined that are gradually refined through an iterative process to become closer to the final version. It is a kind of a draft product that makes brands capable of exploring and evaluating ideas, and it can be demonstrated before investing in the final product development. So, based on my experience and based on my knowledge, the knowledge that I've accumulated so far, I've realized that there is no brand out there, no matter how good they are, who can tell me that they've got a final website. Website is something that continues to evolve based on the situation analysis, the trends that are happening out there. You realize that websites are redefined, on many occasions. All of a sudden, the feel of a website for Coca-Cola is completely different to the way it was 2 years ago. So it's always a prototype, it's always a beta version. They are always trial, putting things that could work to enhance experience, removing things that could work that were not working to remove the killers that could destroy experience. I gave students an example with relationships. Would you think that you are prototyping at the moment? Do you guys want me to repeat?
Yes.
I've heard people saying that we are trying. I'm giving him another try. So it's a trial version of a boyfriend or a girlfriend, right? Have you guys Reza, I see your mic was up. Want to say something?
No, I was just agreeing. That actually makes so much sense.
We give people a try or whatever. Let's try this thing out. So realize that before you have settled, maybe some of us who are married now, we no longer have a trial version. We've got a final product, But if you haven't settled yet, you'd have prototypes. You are prototyping. You have got versions, saying maybe this is going to work. If it doesn't work, you dump it, you go for something else. Or if it doesn't work, but you feel like there's hope, you're trying to tweak things, but I know most people, when it's not working, they throw it aside. Millennials, they don't fix things. What's there to fix when the population is so huge? So things like that. I'm just trying to give you guys an example of prototyping. So with the website, it's always the same thing. Let's try this out. Maybe it's going to generate more sales. Let's try this out. Maybe it's going to do this and that, So it's always trial versions. The prototype is an initial stage of software development where product development and fixes can occur before the final release of the product. The idea is that the design agency or development team and the marketing staff who commission the work can review and comment on prototypes, and changes can then be made to the site to incorporate these comments. So prototyping can be open to certain people. So it's not yet open to the public. The same thing with what you are doing, guys. We would date and date and date. Your mothers don't know. Your fathers don't know because it's still a trial version. You know? How many relationships that you have had, and you say, for now, let's keep it to ourselves. Let's not go public yet. Am I saying things that you are familiar with, guys?
Of course.
So prototyping will be same thing. The website will be open to certain individuals, not to the entire public, so that we could see what is working and what is not working, you know? Then you work on those things before you go public. The same thing that you do in a relationship. You can't just, of course, people are different. You know, there are some people that today they meet someone already, their mothers know. To an extent that at the end of the day, your mom know that you have got 7 exes, you know? People are different. Even if you can make the prototype public in form of a website, but there are dangers. The same way you would look at this in a relationship perspective, you know? Then prototyping should result in a more effective final site, which can then be developed more rapidly than a more traditional approach with a long period of requirement determination. So that's what prototyping is all about. Then now we are going to have a look at the concept of prototyping has been extended across the whole life cycle for developing website functionality or software application, where it is known as agile software development. So what is it now? Agile software development is an iterative approach to developing software and website functionality with the emphasis on face-to-face communications to elicit, define, and test requirements. So the goal of agile development is to be able to create stable releases more frequently than traditional development methodologies. That is, new functionality will be introduced through several releases each month rather than a more significant release every week, month, or even years. So I know, guys, with your phones, I don't know the type of a phone that you are using, but here and there, you get updates for your applications on your Google Play Store or your App Store. Is it so?
Yes.
And it says it's fixing bugs, like an updated version fix bugs, or there's more functionality and stuff like that. So that's agile software development. Long ago, it wasn't like that. You know, once you have got a software, the update could only come once, maybe per year, or even in 2 years. Especially if you've got application like video editing softwares. Even Microsoft, it used to have updates only once per year. And then they realized that, no, it's not working. So closely related to the agile approach is restructuring using DevOps. You know, this concept of DevOps is actually gaining some momentum in industries. Nowadays, you hear FinOps, you hear RevOps. So this is an approach to development of systems which involves a more collaborative and closer relationship between development and operation teams, with the aim of reducing deployment times and frequency of system updates and improving their stability. Nowadays, brands cannot afford to have softwares that do not have system updates, because we are chasing customer experience. We want functionalities that makes it easier for customers to interact with the platform. as you guys mentioned earlier, you said it has to be easy to navigate, you know? So new functionalities must address that. But I've realized that as much as we want updates, sometimes it becomes very difficult for customers who are in developing nations, especially in Africa. You come across WhatsApp that it is its update, but this update is only going to work for those with phones Android 5 and above. Or there's an update on a software on iPhone, if I'm an app user, that says it's only going to work on iPhone 7 and above. What are they saying? You need to throw away the phone that you are using and get another one with a better OS. Considering unemployment and everything that is happening, can you afford to get a new phone that is going to accommodate the updates? Do you get what I mean, guys? Haven't you come across that?
Yes.
Being told that your phone is not compatible with the latest release, app release. Now we have got growth hacking. We all know what hacking is. And hacking doesn't necessarily mean that you have to break through things and stuff like that. Hacking is gaining access without permission. That's it. So even if a phone is not password protected and you are busy snooping in that phone, you are hacking. You don't have to crack the codes there. However, when you look at software development and website development, we have got a concept called growth hacking. So here you are testing the system to see whether it works or not, whether it's effective or not. It's just like someone breaking in his own house or asking a friend to come and break in his house to see if the security system is strong enough. You put on an alarm, you lock the doors, and you ask your friend to come and break in. So they are not breaking in to come and steal. They are testing how tough your security system is like. So that's growth hacking that we use in marketing. You guys have done growth hacking, in many ways. Think about in high school, when you are dating someone, you found a new partner, you are dating, all of a sudden you're asking your best friend, can you please throw yourself at him? Let's see if he's capable of cheating. That's growth hacking, because you want to see how tough the system is, but you are giving someone permission to break in and do that. I've seen people doing that even with their relatives. All of a sudden your partner visits you at home. You leave your sister there on purpose and see if he's going to ask out your sister. So it's growth hacking, but it's a dangerous game because it can work the other way around. Guys, I'm just trying to make sure that you understand the whole concept of what I'm trying to highlight here. Do you get the point of growth hacking before I read on the theoretical concept?
Yes.
Because what you see on the screen is deep. That's theory. I need to try by all means to put it in such a way where you could understand. That's why I'm talking about high school. I've known people saying that, can you please go and ask out my girl and see, I want to see whether she's loose, or it's growth hacking because you are doing something for positivity. Anyway, let's go back to the theory. Growth hacking is a mindset which focuses marketing activities on increasing the scale and profitability of a business through testing and improving techniques for improving the value of ODS touch points across the customer life cycle of RACE. You know the RACE model. Some people call it the RICE model, whatever you put it, but it has to cover reach, interaction, conversion, and engagement. So the concept of growth hacking has developed a way of supporting the profitable growth of business through using agile approach. So here, a growth hacker is described as a hybrid of marketer and coder, one who looks at the traditional question of how do I get customers for my product and answers it with A/B tests, landing pages, viral factor, email deliverability, open graph. On top of this, the layer of the discipline of direct marketing with its emphasis on quantitative measurement, scenario modeling via spreadsheet, and a lot of database. So once you have created your website, or once you have developed a software, you ask other developers to go through it, go to the About Us page, or fill in the information, or process a payment to see whether it's going to work or not. So you are testing the system here, you know, because when you are working on the back end, you wouldn't know how your system is looking like. On the other hand, people use different browsers. Someone will be using Mozilla, someone will be using Google Chrome. So a hacker would go through all those tests and give you an honest opinion, an honest assessment on how you need to improve your lapses. The same thing with the example that I gave you guys. So do you think in high school, when you ask someone to go and throw himself or herself at your partner, do you think they'll come back with an honest assessment?
Not always.
Obunolo?
No, I don't think so. Not always.
You ask your little sister, you know, go out with my boo and let's see if he's going to do anything funny. Do you think she'll come back with a good feedback?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. If you believe so, you know your relative, so it is what it is. All right, guys. So that's the concept of growth hacking, and I hope you understand it. But at the end of the day, we do growth hacking because we want to improve customer experience. You want to test whether it accepts Visa card or MasterCard. You know, the payment gateway like Ozo or EcoCar, are they working? All those tests are done by a growth hacker. Someone who knows what he's doing, but is not related to is not linked with the development of the website or the app. That's it, guys, about lesson. What lesson is this? 99. Are there any questions?
No questions.
Okay, in the next lesson, we are now going to have a look at how do we actually initiate a website project.